Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor, and today we're going to be looking at another coaching session. This is going to be a Silver 2 Soraka game. I believe it's Silver 2. Let me double check here again real quick. Yes, Silver 2 Soraka game. Soraka main, so we're going to try to give some advice here. So special thanks to Not Raka. Really appreciate the generous donation. First off, we're going to start off with an op.gg review. Just spend a few minutes talking about runes, masteries, itemization, matchups, all that kind of good stuff. And then we're going to talk about really briefly the pregame, how I think the game might go down. I haven't watched it yet. And then post-game, we'll watch the game. I'll take some notes, and we'll bring it all together at the end of the game to help Not Raka figure out the best ways to improve his play. If you would like a coaching session yourself, you can email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. I'm happy to set that up. It's just a $20 donation. If you want to get a coaching session, also, if you enjoy the channel, consider becoming a member. It's just $5 a month. It's less than a quarter a day. And one of the perks of becoming a member is you get a 10% discount on all donation services. So it would only be $18 for your coaching session. So that means really your first month's membership would only be $3. There's no contracts, no cancellation fees, none of that. It's just $5 a month. Just pay it for as long as you want to support the channel. So I think it's really good to help out services that you love, which hopefully you enjoy mine. I created it as a way to mimic the Twitch subscription model. But I tried to add a lot more value for people that are supporting me. I want to support you and give you as much value as I can. So that's why I give the 10% discount. I run a member-only Discord, so we keep all the riffraff out of there. It's just good, friendly, fun, very cool people who go in there. They talk about League. They talk about their pets, their lives. They share some jokes. It's just a really good sort of close-knit, fun community in there. So it's a lot different from what you might experience in some of those, bigger streams that have a Discord where, the streamer's hardly ever on there and it's just run by a bunch of misfits. And it just can feel like a very oppressive place. It's not really that welcoming sometimes. So it's a complete opposite of that. It's a very close-knit, very chill, cool community. And you can come out and play with us every Tuesday night if you want. I just play normals with members. It's a lot of fun. We just try out some different experimental champions, just play with each other, build up the community. It's a lot of fun. And then you can also vote on which champions I play on members night. So if you have a favorite support that I don't play in ranked that often, most days of the week, then I'll try to cover as many of those as I can on viewer night every Tuesday, as well as sometimes throughout the week. So it's a great bargain. If you want to set that up, just click here on the PayPal link. Just really simple. Just set up PayPal. It takes like 30 seconds. There's no hidden fees. Once again, no contracts, none of that stuff. Just $5 a month for as long as you want to support the channel. If you have any questions about it, just email me at thestrategyprofessor.com. I'm more than happy to answer it. Okay, let's go ahead and get in here. So first up, I recommend having one control ward at least every 5 minutes and one normal ward per minute on average. You definitely meet the control ward criteria. You needed to have at least 8. You had 9 there. And then as far as normal wards, you had 27. So a little bit short on that. Try to bump it up. See if you can get closer in this game to get to about 39 normal wards. So once again, that's not the best metric of vision, right? Where, just because you're placing wards doesn't mean they're good wards. But I think it's a pretty good sort of goal to shoot for, are those thresholds. You may not always get them. Understandable, but just do your best to get to those as much as you can. I recommend the following runes for Soraka. So armor reds, HP yellows, and then AP blues and AP quints. The reason I like AP is it's dual purpose. It helps you harass a little bit more with your Q early on. Has a decent little ratio on it. And it helps heal you off of your Q. And it also helps you heal allies as you move throughout the game. So that extra 24 AP translates into some pretty good healing. I think it was somewhere around, I don't remember the exact number. It's like 60%. So that'd probably be like 15 or 16 extra healing, which is pretty big early on. And that also scales once you get plus healing and shielding later on to the game. That number only gets multiplied. So that's one of her best stats early, and it also scales really well later into the game. I see that you went for the gold route here. Extremely dangerous. Very, very dangerous into this lane in particular. So, I advocate you can go for the gold runes early on if you're against something like maybe a Janna or a Braum or just something that's not going to get that rowdy with you early on. But Blitzcrank is one of the most aggressive supports that you can possibly play in the early game. He's going for blood. And so, yeah, and Misfortune, likewise, is one of the most aggressive AD carries you can possibly get early on. So she has a ton of burst damage with her Q, with her ultimate. She has a great combo set up with Blitz where she can press the E on you, make it rain, it slows you down, and it makes it really hard to dodge Blitz hooks when she has you in that make it rain. So if they run that lane properly, it's going to be a really hard time. So I would just lace up. I mean, I might even go just full out, like, all defensive runes. Like, I might just go, you know, like magic resist blues and armor quints. Honestly, just make sure you do not die early on. That's the key. This is a very, very tough lane, especially against Jinx. Because, I mean, with Jinx on your team, because she has no escapes. So not only can they just pull and kill you whenever, they can probably pull and kill Jinx wherever early on, because Soraka's heal has a pretty long cooldown until you get a few points in it. So that's you're in for a tough time, I would imagine. Once again, I haven't watched the replay, but just on paper, this looks really rough. So I would definitely load up on those defensive runes. Remind Jinx she needs to get Doran's shield early on for survivability. And just get ready, because you're in for a treat in this lane, probably. Not a good one. So, yeah, definitely go Ardent Censer, or Oasis, Ardent Censer, Athene's Redemption. I'm pretty sure that's what you build. Something close to that, right? You actually get the... You get the Oasis really, really late. You get the Ardent Censer first. I'm really not a huge fan of that build. I've seen a lot of people doing this. So the reason why people do this in pro play and higher level play is because those stats on Ardent Censer mean a lot more at top level play. So having that extra 25 on hit damage and the extra 25 attack speed as soon as possible is a really, really big deal when games, you know, there's only been 1 or 2 kills in a game so far. And also when people have really good map awareness. So they're going to know, okay, jungler's bot side because this is where they're going to be on this particular jungle route. I know which way they're going. Or the top side saw them for like a 1/10 of a second and communicated that to the bot lane so that we know it's safe. And then the bot lane correspondingly plays very defensively if they don't know where the jungler is. So they're going to say, all right, well, we don't have vision of the jungler. We haven't seen him in a while, so we're not going to be aggressive. We're going to be super defensive until we find out where that jungler is. Okay, so these are all things that happen in Challenger and Pro level play. So what that means is you don't need wards as much as early at those levels of play, right? And also, if teams are deliberately trying to rush an Ardent Censer, that will be part of their overall team plan. So that means that your jungler would be hanging out bottom to help you with counter ganks in case they gank you because you don't have vision. They're going to be down there to help you control Dragon. You know, the jungler is probably going to go the warding jungle item, or at least buy some extra control wards. Every guy is going to buy control wards and, you know, put them all over the place bot lane to make sure you don't get snowballed on. So it's going to be a team effort. Everyone's going to be helping you out with vision. The, you know, jungler is going to be down there helping you out in case you get ganked. He's going to be ready with the counter gank. They're going to help you protect Dragon. It's going to be a team effort to make that strategy work. Okay, not so in silver, not so in gold, platinum, and even low diamond. That's not going to be the case, right? People are a lot less coordinated, and they're not going to pay attention and change their playstyle according to the game state, according to not knowing where the jungler is, okay? So what that means is vision is much, much, much stronger than those stats that you're going to get off of Ardent Censer early on. I've tried this build. I've tried it several times. I think I tried it for like 2 weeks, so I probably tried it out for like 50 games or something. Rushing the Ardent Censer first, and you pay for it so much if that jungler camps bottom. So if you don't have these wards and Graves keeps coming bottom, and they have such a good kill lane with Blitzcrank and anyways against Jinx and Soraka that just has murder written all over it. So if Graves comes down there and converts on those kills and starts picking up dragons and towers, it's going to be a really hard time. And so it's much more important to protect Dragon, so you have vision on Dragon, so that you know where Graves is, so you can communicate that to your team, so that you don't get ganked and killed. Even if you have to place really defensive wards, which will probably be what happens, I suspect you're probably going to get pushed in, and you're probably going to have to place some pretty defensive wards. That's better than nothing. You still want to be able to get vision down to help your team. So, and there's going to be a lot more kills. You know, in a silver game, you know, the 80 carries might each have 5 kills by 12 minutes into the game. And in that case, Ardent is going to matter, but it's not going to matter as much as if each 80 carry had like 1 kill or no kills, when you typically see Ardent in Challenger and pro level games. So I do like Ardent. You should get it as a very early item, I just think you should get Eye of the Oasis and probably Brown Boots, especially against Blitz, before you complete it. So that's my explanation of what the difference is between pro level play with Ardent and normal level play, where you need to get the at least a normal Sightstone first. And if you're getting normal Sightstone plus a gold item, it's just 250 gold more just to go ahead and get that 4th item and a little bit more health regen in lane. So it's definitely worth it just to go ahead and complete it. Okay. And then I recommend getting 2 points in Q in lane and then starting to max W after that. Gives you a bit more harassment, a little bit more healing in lane, a little bit more wave clear so they don't push you in quite as much. So I would not get 2 points in E ever unless this is like a mistake or something. You want to always max your E last in lane. You just don't get a lot of benefits. I've heard people say, oh, you should max it second, or I've even heard some people say you should max it first. It's like, no, you shouldn't. It lowers the cooldown a little bit. You do a little bit more damage with it, but it does root people for longer if it lands, but most people are just going to walk right out of this. They're not going to get rooted. The damage is okay, but it's not enough to compensate for losing that healing early on that you could be getting. And the cooldown, yes, it's lowered, but it's still a really high cooldown. You're only going to use it once in a lot of fights, maybe twice if you get a lot of CDR. So it's okay, it's okay. I mean, I guess, the original damage, if they stay in, if they get dealt the extra damage, that's like 460 damage with a 0.8 ratio. That sounds really nice. I mean, I guess you could maybe get it second, like get a couple points in Q and then max your W and then like max that second. Maybe if you have a really good like AoE team fight composition, like you have a Jarvan to hold them in place or a Kennen or, just something to make sure that second tick of Equinox is going to trigger. But I think under most circumstances, you want to max W first, then Q second. Okay, so as far as the pregame goes, I want you to be extremely careful. Like I said, this is like code red, super, super dangerous lane. You need to be very, very careful. If they snowball, especially once Blitz gets those boots, because it's not only a threat to your lane, it's also a threat to mid lane, because Xerath is very, very susceptible to hooks as well. And if Blitz knocks him up with his Power Fist hook knockup, that's a free Yasuo ult. So if they push you in, if they get a couple of kills early on, or even if they don't get kills, if they just push you in and get you low to where you can't really contest Misfortune, and Blitz just gets to roam free around the map, especially if you're not buying wards, if you're rushing Ardent Sensor, he's going to run all over the place and start hooking the Xerath and just crushing people. So you need to really watch out and don't let that Blitz snowball. So you need to have really good vision, play defensively, don't die, and if you can, try to see if you can coax Warwick to playing on the bot side of the map so that Graves doesn't dive you when they push you in a tower. Okay, so be extremely careful. Try to get some poke in with your Q whenever you can, but don't risk getting hooked over it. Just try to land a little bit of harass. But, the most important thing is just don't die. Get boots early to help you dodge hooks. You may not necessarily need to go boots too, but at least get your brown boots early to help you dodge. If he goes Moby boots, like first item, like a lot of blitzes like to do, you might have to match him with Moby boots of your own, just so you can dodge the hooks. So comps are about even in terms of scaling. Like Jinx can take over the game later if she gets pretty far ahead and they can stay out of Misfortune's ult, or you can silence it with your E. So just make sure that you silence the ult, and then you should be able to outscale them later. They probably have a better split pusher with Nasus. I mean, Shin's a pretty good splitter as well, but if Nasus gets some time to sit there and farm, it's going to be very difficult to deal with him late game. Use Vision to help Warwick secure Dragon early and to protect against Graves and to alert your team if Blitzcrank's roaming. So Vision's just going to be super key here. And then be careful for Nasus. Make sure he doesn't TP and flank you, either early in the game or later in the game. Okay, let's go ahead and get in here. And we'll fast forward through, a little bit of stuff if people are just kind of farming it out, just hanging out, until something of note happens, and we'll slow down and we'll rewind a little bit at key moments and look things over. Okay, Blitz loves to invade, so you need to get a ward down and, run. Just drop a ward here and just get out. No. Ooh. Do not go just wandering around random bushes, past, the very early part of the jungle. That's a very common place. Even if they weren't invading you all out, it's becoming very popular these days for the bot lane to hang out in this tri-bush and try to punish you when you're coming back from helping your jungler at red. And Blitz and Misfortune would have been a perfect trap for that. Like, if they'd both been sitting in that bush, they would have either gotten both of your summoners or killed you. All it would take is a Blitz Hook, Ignite, and then that's it. You got to flash and heal, probably. Wow, this is the most passive Blitz I think I've ever seen. He's lining up, but you guys have minions here now. Yeah, so you can fight him in this. Yeah, go ahead, auto-attack him. Bit early for an exhaust. Bit early for an exhaust there. Because she was already running away. She wasn't going to all-in you. Yeah, I wouldn't use the exhaust there. It is good to be ready to use it. It's better to use it when you don't need it than to not use it when you do need it. But, you know, she was still well north of 50%. Blitz had not ignited. And she was running away. So I think you can just let her go. Hey, good. Yeah, get in here. Throw a heal on him. Good. Oh, Blitz spotted that, though. Wonder if... no, he didn't figure it out. Okay, you know Graves is up there. I just saw the blast plan. I'm not sure if... I think you can see that through Fog of War if you're paying attention. Okay, good. Good. So Warwick is playing around the bot side of the map. He did get an early dragon. Yeah, he can collapse. But he is getting Scuttle. I was about to say, if you knew he was coming, you could deliberately get hooked. But he's up top now, so you don't want to do that anymore. And it's uncertain whether he was paying attention also. He could have just been looking only at the Scuttle, so. Who can farm-wise? She's beating y'all on farm, so Jinx is just missing wide open CS, which is fine. I mean, this is way, way better than I thought this lane was going to go, honestly. You know, if they're just gonna let you farm and like not go for kills. Okay, there's Graves, so y'all need to back. He's right there. He is right there. Yeah, y'all, you cannot go up that far. When Graves is sitting in that bush, maybe you didn't see him, but you got to be watching. You got to watch that. Watch the mini map there. Because he was just chilling in that bush for like 5 seconds or so. Okay. You should probably back. She can Q you off of these minions. It's very dangerous to like try to stay versus Misfortune. Yeah, just back. It's fine. She's only down, like, she's down 6 CS. That's not bad, considering you guys should be getting slaughtered in this lane. You're doing way, way better than I thought you would, so. You repelled an early gank, and you came away with the dragon, so that's good. So, ooh. That does give you move speed. I feel like that's really bold. I would get the gold item, and like, I'd get the gold item, a control ward, and a couple of biscuits, which is basically what you did, but I might get like the gold item and some boots there. That would be about 800 gold also. Okay, nice. Net Shen ult. Wow. How is he already 6? That's crazy. I guess, okay. They're like 2 levels up on you. The solo laners are 2 levels up, which is pretty weird. I guess you did leave lane to help Dragon for a little bit, and then maybe Jinx got zoned out of some experience. I don't know, whatever. Okay, cool. She went Relic Shield too. That's a really cool build that's catching on, and that's so good for supports. Alright. Just kind of farming out a little bit. Sorry, I was kind of zoning out. It's been a long day. I definitely want to make sure that I get this in there. I'm zoning, but we're in it. We're in the zone again. We're in the right zone here. Overall, pretty good. It's just a farm off. You need to watch out for Graves. Or just getting pulled. Yeah, this is kind of the nightmare here. Blitz is finally waking up and deciding that he wants to do something. So, yeah, y'all can't push up that far. Like, you got to understand that, like, especially once they hit 6. I guess he was waiting on 6, but y'all have no defenses. Like, what do you do if Blitzcrank, like, presses W and just runs at you? Like, Jinx can drop Trompers and he can just run around him. He can literally just press W, run into you, and just uppercut you. And that's it. Like, if he lands that on you, it's over. Because you can flash, and then he's just going to hook you. You can not flash, and then he's going to ult and still hook you. And then Misfortune can just press ult and kill you. So this is like, you know, this is a doomsday scenario down here. If you're pushed up. Now, obviously, if you're under tower like this, if you manage your wave and put it, like, right here, then he can't do that. He's going to have to at least hit you with a hook, rather than just run up to you like that. I guess he didn't run up to you. He did the hook, but he, like, a smarter Blitz will just walk up and just auto-attack you. With his E active. So what you want to do is you want to try to freeze the wave, like, right here. As much as possible. I talk about this in one of my most recent videos, is how to freeze waves. Okay, she's going for Scuttle. It's a good ward by whoever put that there. Was that you? I know you had a red ward earlier. Okay. Yeah, do not go out there and find them. No, 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 no. Okay, this is warded. You need to just go ahead and ward this. No, no, don't. No, no. You guys cannot fight him. No way. It's under no circumstances can you fight him this early. Okay. Well, if she overcommits that hard into a Shin'Ul, okay. I'm proven wrong. She had to screw that up royally. For that to turn around in your favor. This Shin is making it happen. The Shin's living the dream. So he came down, saved her, and now he's gonna like solo this Nasus probably up here. No, he's not gonna solo Nasus. But he did save your Jinx. So when you see them running around, do not go chase them down and fight them. It's not happening. Especially with this weird build that Jinx has. Like, she doesn't do any damage. Misfortune already has a Ghost Blade, and Jinx is just tinkering around with whatever it is she's building. I don't even know, honestly, what it is. Is she going, like, Hurricane Pick? What is that? I literally don't know what that item is that she's working towards. So yeah, so you need to take note of this. Okay, let me put some of this down real quick while we're just walking back to lane here. So don't ever try to 2v2 Blitz MF with your composition as Jinx Soraka. It's never gonna work. Unless you're up like 5 kills, like a full item or something on them, just do not fight it ever. They just have so much more burst damage than you do. He has Ignite to cancel a lot of your healing. They just have so much more burst and sustain damage. And, excuse me, and you need to look at items. Okay, so you need to be taking note. Man, this Jinx is buying some really weird stuff. Now, you don't have to tell her, yo, Jinx, what are you doing? Although, you could say something like, you know, we really need to, like, get an Infinity Edge or just something, if you want to, but you don't have to say anything about our itemization if you don't want to. Yeah, I probably wouldn't leave lane. Okay, so let me pause this. A couple of things I want to go over. So yeah, you need to look at her itemization and just say, okay, a couple of things. Number one, she's really far behind and weak right now. Like, they have similar farms. She's only down 3 CS. They were even 1-1 in kills. Misfortune hasn't bought yet. She just got that kill. but Misfortune actually got an item. She got Ghostblade, and so she's a lot stronger because she has the speed to run you guys down now. When she activates it, she has the lethality, she has the cooldown reduction, so she's going to have more ultimates, and she has a lot of flat AD. Whatever Jinx is buying over here, this is nothing. Attack speed is one of the worst stats early in the game, except on very specific characters like Callista, Kog'Maw. Everyone else wants to get AD and crit most of the time, okay? Or if you're going to go for like an attack speed type of build, at least get Blade the Ruined King, which is god-awful on Jinx. Please don't get Blade the Ruined King on Jinx. But if you're going to get some kind of attack speed item, just make it Blade the Ruined King. So at least you're working towards a powerful passive. Okay, but you have to notice, okay, this itemization is just bizarre. And if someone's itemization is like that, you have to call into question the rest of their decision making, because if they can't even like figure out a build correctly, and once again, I'm not trying to be like, I know sometimes people on the channel, a very small amount of people, but I try to, you know, cover this point. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm being realistic, and you need to be realistic, and you know, you don't have to flame or you don't have to say, what is that build or whatever, but you need to take mental note and say, you know what? I may not be able to trust this Jinx, right? Maybe she's auto-filled. Maybe she never plays Jinx. Maybe she's used to playing Kog'Maw or Callista or something else that rushes that much attack speed early on. Who knows? Maybe she's looking at her friend told her to look at this Mobifier guide, and she looked at it from like 5 months ago or something, and it was like some person who said they were Challenger wrote a guide on Mobifier, and they're really, you know, they just opened the game out of the digital box or whatever. I don't know. Mobifier, I'm sure, has good information on it somewhere, but there's a lot of misleading information out there too. So anyways, the point is, you need to understand that she's not only weak in lane because of her itemization, but that her decision making is also likely to be weak, because you can't get outplayed on items most of the time, right? Like, you can always buy that. You can't dodge an item. You can't like miss an item skill shot, right? Like, that's not about mechanics. That's not about skill. That's just about pure game knowledge. Do you know the correct items to get? And these aren't even remotely close. Like, if she was completing Hurricane, or, I mean, maybe she's going pickaxe into Hurricane, but like, if she was completing Hurricane, that's still pretty bad, but at least it's a complete item. If she was going for Infinity Edge, you'd feel pretty good. But yeah, and so what that means is not only are you weaker in the lane, but it also means you can't leave her, okay? Because she's not going to make the right decision. And this is true of a lot of AD carries, is I really don't like roaming unless it's a very, very high probability of success and you can trust your AD carry not to die. And those are two rare criteria in Silver. So I really don't like roaming up here. Also, they have enormous kill threat. As I said before, this is one of the most kill threat lanes you could possibly draw up with Blitz Misfortune. It's so much damage, early in the game especially. If he lands a hook, it's 100% dead. And she can put her Make It Rain on him to make it to where it's almost impossible for her to dodge a hook because she doesn't have any dashes. So unless she flashes, she's not dodging a Make It Rain into hook. I mean, heck, Misfortune with this item versus her item could almost just Make It Rain and just ultimate her and kill her if she doesn't flash. Okay, also Soraka is not renowned for her roaming. She has virtually no CC. All she has is her silence. You only have brown boots, so you're not going to be running that fast. You do have Aether Wisp, which is nice, but she just doesn't contribute a lot to ganks. Like, it's okay. It's better than having nobody there, but it's not a very high probability of success as though you were ganking with someone like a Blitzcrank or an Alistar, a Rakan, a Thresh, something like that that's going to have a much higher probability for success because they have way more crowd control, much more reliability. Like, Soraka is just going to roll up and maybe throw some heals, but then usually just watch the person walk away. And if there's a counter gank, because you're so squishy, then there's a high likelihood you're going to get killed. So if Graves shows up to this fight mid lane, so if you show up to help Xerath and Graves shows up, you're dead. Probably, because you're very squishy and vulnerable. You don't have a lot of escapes. You don't have a lot of crowd control. So if Graves shows up, you die. And what I just said, now I know I just watched this sequence, but literally, if you would have asked me, that's what I would have predicted. If you were to tell me, I'm going to go mid lane, I was talking about something else, so I didn't talk about it beforehand here. But if you were going to say, I think I want to roam mid lane here, I would say, well, if you do that, high probability bot's going to die. High probability you're going to die if Graves shows up. That's what I would have said. And if you watch it, that's exactly how this unfolds, for the reasons I just described. Also, you don't have eyes on Graves. You have no vision. You should at least dust this to see if Graves is over there, although it would reveal your position if you did that. But because you don't have Sightstone, you don't know. Also, they just ran out of vision down here. Maybe Blitzcrank's running up this river to go counter gank you. Maybe Misfortune's running up here. Blitz runs very, very quickly, so does Misfortune. So both of them can rotate very quickly up that river to catch you. And Jinx isn't going to do anything about it. She has to sit here and farm. She's very slow, and she's very vulnerable too. So all of this is very, very bad. You do not want to be, like, in this situation. This is rough. Okay, you actually know Graves is there, and he spotted you. Okay? So you know he's there 100% because he just dusted you. And you know that he knows you're there. So he knows exactly where you are. He knows the gank's incoming, so he's going to start running there immediately. Okay, so you see Blitz. Okay, you know he's right there now because he just dusted this. So once again, you know he's there. He just dusted you again. You know it's not your jungler because Warwick's over here, so you know he's in this area. You just saw him walk out of this bush. In theory. Maybe you didn't see him, but... you know, you were dusted twice. Okay, so you did make it out of it. I forgot if you died or not. But you did make it out of it. But yeah, Jinx died bottom. So you made it out, but it was very, very dicey. He screwed something up there not to kill you. I think he just didn't use his ult. If he would have ulted you, you would have died. Or he missed it. I can't remember. But either way, you skated out of it barely, but Jinx still died bottom. And now she's going to start falling behind in CS. She was kind of hanging in there. So yeah, so that's why you don't roam. And I think it's important to talk about that because I know there's that video out that went viral pretty much from Dong Hop that was talking about Olay and how Olay's the #1 support. It's because he roams all the time. No, it's because he's a pro LCS player who plays in Challenger and people play around him. They say, oh, okay, he roams a lot, so we're going to behave. We're not going to get killed in lane. We're going to ward for him. We're going to like be prepared as a jungler to help in case he gets counter ganked. It's a team effort to why Olay wins. Olay does not win because he plays support and just roams every game. Olay wins because his team plays around his specific play style, which is roaming, to make plays like that. Like, if you look at it apples to apples against other pros who are preparing, like, prepared for that kind of stuff, that's why you don't see a ton of roams in most LCS games from supports. You see some, but it's not like every single good support is constantly leaving their AD carry and roaming 24/7, right? So I think that's a very common misperception out there, is that you have to roam to be effective as a support. And it's like, yes, there's a time and a place for that, but you have to know the game state and like what's optimal for your champion to do. Okay, this is where Blitz is going to start. Yeah. Wow. Okay, they got it. Yeah, that's that nightmare scenario I was talking about in the pregame, though, where Blitz is taking down your tower now. So you tried to roam. Jinx got killed. They took a tower because of it. Now they own the river. Blitz roams up middle, gets a free kill on Xerath, because Xerath has no escapes either. And it's a really easy combo. Like I said with Yasuo, you just knock him up with the power fist, boom, dead. Now that Blitz is probably going to roam back down here and try to make a play on you guys to kill you. Fortunately, he went that way instead of coming down this way. So this Blitz is not even going for, like, the best possible plays. He's actually playing very conservatively for his position. He could have been much more aggressive, and he still is very effective. Now, Shin is doing very well, and Xerath's doing very well, so you're in the game, but this is the stuff I was talking about in the pregame. Okay, so Warwick's here. Wow, okay. Y'all need to leave. If Graves shows up, it's going to be a problem. Warwick's probably wanting to make a play with that Rift Herald bottom, but I wouldn't do it. Not with Nasus missing. Nasus could TP, and Graves could be there also. Now, Dragon is coming up in 50 seconds, though, so you need to get a Sightstone for this. Okay, so she was going Hurricane into Infinity Edge. She was just getting really bizarre components for it. She needs to get boots. Okay, you got Ardent, but you see how many times, like, he's going to die again here, and that means they're going to get Dragon probably, because now it's going to be 4v5. Really? Blitz didn't ult? What? For real? I know he's got it. It's only like a 40-second cooldown. I see it right here. Okay, well, they are really, like, screwing this. Okay, well. God, he did that so early. Oh, my God. Y'all are lucking out so hard here. Like, okay, a couple of things. Wow. Okay, so they run in here. Blitz has his ult, I think, right? He doesn't right now. Let me see. Does he get it? Okay, he doesn't have it yet. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. He didn't have it for that. But once Blitz hooks him, Yasuo doesn't wait for Blitz to Power Fist, knock him up, and ult him. He pulls him out of the hook so that Blitz can't get his full damage rotation in. See, he pulls him out of the air, and that's what lets you flash out of that before he does his full rotation. If he would have killed you there, they probably would have gotten this tower, and probably Dragon also. So, whew, that was close. So anyways, that was very fortunate, for sure, that they screwed that up so many different ways. No, don't drop Rift here. Everybody's low. Okay, I guess. Blitz is just donating kills over. Alright. But, okay, so the point is, yes, they screwed it up. But here's the point. Let me pause this before we move on too far past that. The reason that they almost killed you when Blitz could, or Graves could have ulted you earlier. Yes, you got dusted twice, and you should have known. But it would have been if you had wards. If you had a ward here, because what he did is he ran over here, and I think he jumped over this wall because he knew that was warded. So I think he dusted this. He saw there was a ward there. He thought he was going to be cute. Graves, that is. He ran over here. He did his little quick draw over this, and then he came over this way and tried to work around this pink ward. And then he was right here, and he quick drawed into this bush. So he was trying to bait you and get ready for that. So he was trying to run around this ward that he saw off of the dust. So you got dusted twice, then you still walked into the bush, and the main reason was this bush was not warded. Also, if this was warded down here, then you would have seen him walk through here. So he almost got a kill on you from that. Earlier on, when they messed up the Blitz, I think they did get a kill earlier with the Blitz, because he also hit him with the tornadoes. They did secure that kill, once again, because they weren't warded, and Blitz ran in there. And then this last time, Blitz ran in, they screwed up the kill on Xerath, and then they screwed up the kill on you. But that's 3 different times that someone should have died, and didn't die. So they could have had 3 more kills, this tower, and Dragon, because you didn't have wards. So yes, like, Ardent Sensor does give you more stats, but no stats are going to make up for giving up 3 kills, a dragon, and a tower early game. Like, what do you like with Ardent Sensor? You might get like 1 more kill in a very close fight early on. So that's why I'm telling you that Sightstone, especially against the Blitzcrank, especially when you have such a vulnerable bot lane and mid lane to ganks, is so important to run Sightstone. So I'm going to say get Vision sooner. So I keep hammering that as, you know, over and over and over again, but this is exactly like the textbook reason why you need Vision earlier. They're screwing it up. So don't just look at the results and say, oh, whatever, you know, we're still up. It didn't matter. They didn't convert anyways. I'm here to tell you that's because of player error, not because of strategic error. So it's because they're messing it up. It's not because, you know, you're adequately defending against it, right? It's because they're goofing things up. So if you're up against a different team that's doing a similar strategy that just kind of has it together a bit more, maybe Blitz is auto-filled, maybe, I don't know, either Yasuo or Blitz is just having a bad day and they're just missing a lot of stuff. I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch all the tape on them. But there's something wrong with what's going on. Like, they should be converting a lot more of these kills. God, Shin's gonna... Okay, well, they forced a flash out of him. So once again, I'm not trying to say like, I'm just being realistic. I'm trying to help you improve and become a better player, because that's what this is all about. And this is just textbook why vision reigns supreme over everything else. It's because if you had vision of these things, it would have helped defend against all this stuff, in case you were against people who could actually execute it properly and get a bunch of picks on you. Because if they... Whoa! That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about danger. Misfortune. She does so much damage. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's Duskblade for you. Yeah. That's deletion. Did you see her? You gotta respect her if you see her. Now, if she popped out of a bush or something, okay. Yeah, you got... No. Do not. No, you walk right up to her. You cannot do that. Yeah, you gotta... Misfortune, just see Misfortune in your mind and just think like she's a walking nuke. Like, with that lethality build, especially on a Soraka, she's gonna absolutely delete you just like that. It's one thing if she's hiding in this bush, because it's understandable not to expect she would be standing right there, but if you see her in plain sight, you can't walk up to her like that. Okay, so we'll say... Respect Misfortune. Keep back.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Yeah. It's probably dead. Whoa, okay. Okay, Warwick. Jesus. Alright, I stand corrected. Yeah, you're just way too close. So, here's the thing. Warwick just trashed those other two people. 2v1. He started off at half health. So, he's good, you know? Come up, throw a heal on him, and then just run. Like, max distance. So just, like, heal him, now run. Run away, run away, run away, run away. Like, stay really far back. You don't need to auto. You're not going to be doing anything with your autos. Just, it doesn't matter. You're just risking yourself dying. So, just heal him, and then run all the way back. Wait on your heal, poke your head in, heal him, run all the way back. Because Yasuo knows he's not going to kill that Warwick. He's going to go for you, because you're really squishy. Okay? Even just running up to the Blitzcrank like that. Like, Blitz, unless you were paying attention to what he used over here, he could still have his ult and his Ignite. Like, don't let him get a free, like, kill on you to make up for the fact that he's about to die. Okay, so I'm going to say position further back in fights. So I'm going to say position much further back.
Blue team has slain the dragon.
Okay, so you got another dragon. Do you have... Okay, you got wards. Okay, so push this up. Stay with your team. Stay with your team. Don't go ward right now. Don't go ward. Like, ward right here maybe, but stay with them. You always have to be close when there's a blitz. Because if he hooks somebody, you got to be ready to go. Or if, like, Yasuo starts a fight like that. Okay, ward this. I would ward here. It gives you better vision of this walkway, and it'll give you vision of the raptors, so there's no reason to just do it over that wall. Unless you're really scared. But you just saw them all middle, so I think you could ward there. And if you do need to go ward like that, and there's a blitz on their team, or like a Thresh, or just something else that can start a fight really easily, Rakan, Alistar, like you need to ping everybody back, and then ping your wards, so they know what you're doing. So they'll back up. Okay, so they picked him off middle. So that's what happened, is everybody ran away, and they saw that as an opportunity. Maybe they have wards in here, and they saw that you guys weren't there, and they just ran after somebody and picked him. I mean, Blitz is a nightmare, honestly, in Bronze and Silver. If you don't ban him, I would honestly consider banning him, because this guy, like I said, he's doing the best that he can. You know, maybe he's auto-filled. He's not even really abusing Blitz as much as he could, and he still is causing some major problems. He doesn't even have a lot of assists. Like, his stats don't look that important, but he's causing some problems for sure. Warwick's just lost his mind. If anybody spots him, they just saw him. If they send like 3 people up there, they can kill him. If they kill him, they might be able to do Baron. And they're going for him. And he's going to make it out of there. Whoa, alright. That happened, let's see. You need to star call this bush before you walk over there. Okay, did you see that? Yeah, you saw it because that's why you swept, right? Like, you knew they were there because you swept. I think, right? Or is that somebody else that swept? I think that was you. Yeah, you swept. So, if you see just a random ward just show up there, you know there's at least one person there. And Misfortune is right here. No one else is in sight. So you know, like, any one of these people could potentially one-shot you. Misfortune could just E-ult you. Press E-ult. You're probably going to die unless you flash. Yasuo could hit you with his tornado. Probably almost one-shot you. Blitzcrank could probably almost one-shot you. With his full combo plus Ignite and a couple of autos. So once you see that, do not go over there and investigate. Like, even if they didn't ward that, you need to check bushes with your star call. It has really good range. I think it's like 900 range. And it gives you vision. So you can like star call from here and check that bush. So you need to be using star call to check bushes. Particularly if you're not in sight. So like do it from behind walls like this so they don't see you coming. If you just walk straight at it like this and star call, then Blitz can hook you out of there. So you need to do it from places where they're not going to have vision. To give you a greater reaction time. So if you star call from right here, Blitz can still throw a hook, but he's going to be a little bit slower on it than he would be if he sees you coming. All right. Okay, good catch. How many are dead? 2 are dead. One set. I wouldn't go for Baron here. Yeah, come over here and see if you can help this. I mean, maybe. They are kind of distracted, I guess. Shin's putting in work here. Okay, sure. I mean, it's so dicey, though. Like, what if they had this warded? Or like this, just anywhere in here warded. Or Graves just randomly rolls up and just drops a ward like he did right there, and then just like dashes over and kills the Baron. You don't have any vision of where Graves is. I wouldn't risk it to a 50-50 with Graves. I mean, it's just not worth it, because like you're already ahead. You guys don't need it. You can go get it later if you want to. But if they get it, like that's really bad. That gets them back in the game. In a big way, and it's a total morale killer for your team, so I wouldn't even play around with that. Oh, interesting. So she just randomly cancels it. Ooh. Okay, hold on. Let me... What's going on here? Okay, so you guys just got Baron. I was too busy, like, looking over here. Okay, so you guys are down bottom. You need to be grouped up. No, group. Just back. Ping him back. Tell him to get back. Okay, so Warwick gets caught invading the jungle for, like, the 20th time. He thinks he can 1v5. And he's caught. Shin's going to try to bail him out. Xerath's going to come in to try to help, and it's a 5v3, because y'all are bot lane. So yeah, should they try not to fight because you're bot lane? Of course, but will they? No, they're going to fight. So you have to understand, people are going to fight, especially at Silver. Like, they're not going to understand what don't fight means, because they're going to get caught constantly. So they're going to justify that as a way of saying, well, they engaged on me. I didn't know. How was I supposed to know I should back up and not invade their jungle? You know? So, yeah, I mean, you did get 2 towers, but one of them was just an outer. I don't think that's worth it, because you're losing your whole Baron for this, probably. I mean, you might get 1 more kill here. But with Baron, just group up as 5. Like, they can't beat you if you're 5. And you could have just steamrolled probably and gotten this tower and gotten in their base. Or at a bare minimum, you could have gotten this tower and backed up and gotten this next dragon. Which is water, which is not the biggest deal in the world late game, but it's still nice to have for rotations. It's your itemization. Okay, it's looking pretty good. I would have gotten the, oh wait, no, don't flash. There's no way you're going to kill him with Soraka with a flash there. Just don't waste your flash. You need that flash to get away when like Blitz is running at you. Yeah, don't follow this. Once they start diving this tier 2 to chase stuff, just say no. Just don't go. Okay, so group with team when you have Baron. The only person who should ever not be with the team if Baron is up is a designated split pusher who has teleport. And who can 1v1 whoever they have. And they can join the fight, so that means the enemy can't get away with trying to go and pick you off 5v4, right? That was a real easy pick off because it was a 5v3 because they saw both of you bot. But even 5v4, like, you need the Shin to be the person who's down in the bottom lane getting that tower. And then right there, if people are doing goofy stuff, if they're just making mistakes, if they're trying to, you know, dive tier 2 towers like that, just let them die. Just let them die. Because you're not playing the kind of champion that can do that. Soraka's not good at, like, broken line skirmishes where everyone's just running around doing random crap. She wants, like, nice, neat lines where you have a good designated front line that can protect you and can protect everyone else on your team, because you don't offer that kind of protection, right? You offer a lot of healing, but you don't offer a lot of peeling. So if they're getting on Jinx, if they're getting on you, if they're getting everybody split up to where Shin and Warwick can't, like, disrupt and tank for you, then you're going to be in big trouble. And that's the difference between Sona and, you know, someone like if you had like a Thresh or like an Alistar or something. That kind of champion is much better at these skirmishes because they have a lot of crowd control. But that's not what Soraka does. Soraka is very good at what she does. That's just not what she does. So she's very good at healing people and keeping people alive in extended, nice, neat, lined up fights. She's not good at guerrilla warfare, okay? Nothing wrong with that. But it's just not the style of fighting that she excels at. She excels at nice, clean, organized fights. 5v5s. Yeah, I'll probably need to back up. Yeah, I like going Athene's next. Yeah, Jinx is still doing this thing where she's trying to split push. Yeah, y'all can't all show bottom. They could. They're probably not gonna do Baron without Yasuo, but people are really far out of position. You need to be pinging them and telling them Jinx doesn't need to roam. Like Nasus can kill her easily. Anyone can kill her. Yasuo can kill her. Nasus can kill her. Misfortune can kill her. Like she doesn't beat anybody one-on-one. She's a team fight AD carry. Unless she's really far ahead, which she is not. So you need to tell her, or like get her to just group. Say, hey Jinx, we're really strong, we need you with us. You know, that type of thing. We need your help, you know. So you can get her over there in a polite and sort of, you know, amicable way. Right? It doesn't have to be, hey fool, quit split pushing, you can't do it, you're gonna die. You know, you could just say like, we need your help, please, you're so strong, we need you for team fights. What? Warwick's just trying to split push. Like, when is Yasuo gonna figure it out that he can't 1v1 this Warwick? Like, how many times does he have to die to Warwick to figure that out? But at the same time, why is Warwick trying to solo Baron? It's like, yeah, maybe he could do it, but maybe it gets really low and like 3 of them roll up and just kill him and take it, you know? Maybe he's on a ward and they just sit there and watch him. And then just roll up and kill him and take it. So yeah, you need to rein this in. So your guys are ahead right now, but I would not feel very safe with this lead. No, you have no vision in here. Don't fight this. I mean, I guess that worked out, but... Okay, sure. I mean, I feel like y'all kind of lucked out that Xerath got that snipe and that Yasuo was bot lane. If Yasuo had been, like, trailing up here, his Shin was really low. And he doesn't have ult. But it worked out. Yeah, you need to be shot calling. You need to be telling these people, hey, get together. Like, quit splitting up. Let's get together. Let's bait Baron. Ping your Sightstone. Let them know, hey, we should be grouping up and, like, trying to bait Baron right now. There you go. See, Jinx can do things. She just has to have protection. She just has to have a Shin in front of her. Jinx is a very strong AD carry. She just has to have a front line. I really hate it how cannon minions, like, don't tank anymore. They just shoot from a long distance. That feels like that's almost a downgrade from normal minions, and that's seems inappropriate for Baron and power minions. Yeah, y'all just overstayed. Once you get an inhibitor, you need to leave. I was talking about this just in the last coaching video that I did for somebody else. Like 90% of the time or more, it's a bad idea to stay after you get an inhibitor. You need to just get out of there. The reason is, like, the probability that you're going to get anything else is so low because they spawn right here. They're all going to be healed up, and they have 2 towers, basically 2.5, because they can also use these for kind of defensive if they need to run off to the side and get some more help from the towers. So they have so much defenses, you're not going to have super minions that are going to get here for another minute, which is going to let all of them respawn before the supers get there. It takes minions about a minute to walk from this side over to here with no obstruction. It takes 30 seconds for it to walk to the middle of the lanes, roughly. So, you know, you're not going to get anything else. Unless they just really screw up and they just run out one at a time and all die again, then maybe you could take it, but it's very rare. Most of the time, it just ends up with your team getting wiped, and then they get an advantage. So fortunately, not enough of you died. Baron was already off the map, and only like 2 or 3 of you died. And Warwick still got the dragon, so they couldn't get anything off of those kills, but in closer games, they might, you know, if you get an inhibitor and then overstay, they might get a Baron off of it, which can completely turn a game around, so. Get him, Jinx. Yeah, they're all just like lining up to die. Watch this Jinx get a Quadra. Alright. Okay, so I'll say, so I assume this is probably where you win here. Alright, great. So good job overall. I like it. But let's go ahead and talk about some things you could work on here. Alright, so we'll do okay, so yeah, just don't ever try to 2v2 them, or just don't. Unless you're up like 5 kills or something, or they're just really screwing something up, just don't do it. It's not going to end well at all. Blitz gave you a lot of the early game. He was playing very scared, so you got kind of lucky. He didn't pressure you harder, but he figured it out once he turned level 6, and they almost were able to snowball the game out of control, but they goofed up a lot of their execution. Yeah, so as I said before, that Blitz almost took over the whole game if he would have just converted on those roams. If he would have just got those kills, he could have snowballed it pretty hard. So especially, you know, because Blitzcrank, once he gets those mobility boots and you don't have vision in the river, he can just run up and down that river. Just make a play on Xerath, okay, kill him, run back bottom, make a play on Jinx, kill her, okay, run back middle, make a play on Xerath, and just rinse and repeat back and forth, and then get towers, dragons, call in Graves to help him out every now and then. He can just completely own that river and just dominate people. So, you know, you need to get vision, particularly against heavy roam supports like Rakan, Alistar, Blitz, all that stuff. You got to try to control the river as much as possible with vision, or at least get some kind of vision going so that you can communicate to the mid lane. Even if you can't follow that easily, because Blitz, you know, and company can kill you in the river if they ever catch you out. Even if you may not be able to follow, you still might be able to at least warn them or give them intel on where Blitz is and what he's doing. So that's really important. Yeah, so you need to respect Misfortune. I assume you probably didn't see her, but yeah, if she just auto Q ults you, you're dead. You know, kind of in that mid game once she gets Ghostblade, and certainly once she gets Dustblade plus Ghostblade, she does a ton of damage. So just don't ever walk in auto attack range of her. And just assume she's going to ult in a team fight. Just immediately pop your silence to silence her ult. I think you may have done that a couple of times, so make sure you do that every time. Save your silence, watch for Misfortune, use it. Or anyone that has a really like dangerous channeled ult. Misfortune, Fiddlesticks, anything like that. You want to make sure you shut that up as fast as you can. Xerath, Jhin, if you get in range of those two. So you want to make sure that you're positioning much further back in fights. So you just want to heal, run away. Heal, run away. You shouldn't ever be close enough for the enemy to auto-attack you. Or in that Yasuo's case, for him to, you know, land a tornado on you. You just walked up way too close to try to land an auto-attacker to throw a silence on him. Just heal and run, heal and run. If you need to, just drop a silence, max range as far as you possibly can. But mostly, just get out of there. Just heal and run. Just make sure they don't kill you. Use Star Call, use Q to check bushes. It does give vision and it has a pretty far range. I think it's like 900 range. It might even be further than that. It's pretty far away. So, you know, that's a lot closer than a ward. I think ward range is like 450, something like that. So you want to make sure that you're using your Q to check a bush, especially if you know it could be dangerous. If you see them like literally just place a ward outside of the bush, do not go near that bush. Like wait a little while before you check it. Like give it a good 15 seconds and then Star Call the bush. Group with team when you have Baron. So get your whole team together, get them to work together when you have the Baron. The only person who should ever split push is if someone has teleport, and they're a really good split pusher and can 1v1 anyone on the enemy team. So like Shin at that point could 1v1 most people, maybe not Nasus, but if you wanted to have a split pusher, that would be the person. Nasus can't interrupt Shin's ultimate though. So, you know, in theory, you could split push with both of them and then try to start a fight with your team in the mid lane. And then, you know, Shin could walk into a bush and then ultimate, and Nasus isn't going to be able to stop him. So that's pretty favorable for your team if Shin splits and then everyone else groups up. So try to do that. Jinx definitely should be the last person who's splitting because you need her to siege because she has the, you know, the longest range to damage towers. And she's going to lose 1v1 to virtually everybody. And she has no escape, so if they come to gank her, then she's going to die. So Jinx should 100% not be splitting. So try to direct your team to play around the Jinx. Wherever she is, just go to that lane and have Shin go to a different lane. And just say positive things. Like, we really need you, Jinx. You're a great team fighter. We need your damage. Come on, we need you to help us with sieging and stuff like that. Don't tell her that she's foolish for not grouping. Just, you know, make it sound positive. Like your team really needs her in team fights, that type of thing. Yeah, so if people are diving tier 2 towers early on or just doing all kinds of other goofy stuff, just let them die. Don't die with them. I mean, one of the most important things is just learning how to let silly people die as support. I mean, do the best you can to direct them, ping them back, communicate as much as you can, you know, why they shouldn't be doing that with pings. But if they want to do it and they're going to die, just make sure it's not you two. Just give them 1 kill instead of 2. Because if they get 1 kill, they may not be able to do Baron or Dragon or take another tower, whatever they want to do. Which is 1 kill down, they might not get much. But if they get 2 kills, that's a lot easier to get Baron or Dragon. So don't give them 2 kills, just give them 1. It's really, really important to learn how to do that. And then finally leave after inhibitor is dead. So this is something that a lot of people, you know, will do kind of intuitively, But the reason why this is, like I explained before, is it takes supers about 1 minute to walk from your lane all the way over there. And 1 minute is longer than most spawn times. So anyone that's dead that you've killed on the way to getting that inhibitor, they're going to be back up. So by the time the supers get there, they're going to have 5 people ready to defend with 2 towers to back them up. So you're not going to get a major advantage unless you killed like all 5 of them, or maybe 4 and all that's left is a support. Or they just keep like running into you one at a time. It's really, really hard to take those 2 base towers without multiple inhibitors down, unless you have baroned up minions with you, and you have a really good siege comp. Like, just 90% of the time, it's a bad deal. It's a bad idea. So just get the inhibitor and just get out of there. Go do something else. It's at best, it's a waste of time, typically, and at worst, they get multiple kills and take objectives from you. So the classic is get an inhibitor with 5 people down. They have 3 people up. You overstay. A 4th person spawns for them, and then you try to dive a tower, and their 4 people kill 3 of yours. Then all of a sudden, their 5th person spawns, and now all of a sudden they have a 5v2. They just killed 3 people, and they go get Baron and turn the game around. So something like that happens way, way, way more than ever should. So just make sure that you leave after the inhibitor's down. Okay, that's going to be it. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope this helps you out, win some more games. Anyone else out there, once again, if you're interested, just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com if you'd like your own coaching session. And I'll see everybody next time. Have a good day.